Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we're starting with the Eight of Swords. This is some overthinking energy, but every card has light and shadow. This isn't a bad card. This may be a card of really paying attention to something and analyzing something, going over the data. Sometimes that's a very good thing, you know. Going through it with a fine-tooth comb. If there's a contract in front of you this week, read it. If there's fine print, look at it, get out the magnifying glass and figure out what it says. It's not a time for just saying, nah, it's probably fine, and just glossing over it. No, it's a time to really think and say, you know what, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to look through, I'm going to read every page. I'm going to make sure that everything seems, good to go. We, of course, don't want to linger in that analysis, because then it becomes sort of the overthinking, overanalysis, paralysis kind of thing. And at that point, we'd ask ourselves, okay, why am I hesitating? Sometimes this card is that we're stalling for some reason. We're procrastinating for a different reason, but we're saying, well, I need more time to think about it. I am not done parsing the data, And it's, no, there's something else going on that's making us hesitate. So it could be, now we'll have to look at some other cards, obviously, Sagittarius, to find out if this is just good old-fashioned reading the contract, or if there's something else going on that maybe there's you got a bad feeling about this, And so you're kind of mentally stalling because your heart might be saying, maybe we don't want to do this, yeah. So let's put this card into some context. Let's see what's going on in your life. We have an Eight of Wands. Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands. We have a 10 of Wands. We have a 4 of Swords. We have a Magician. Now, the Magician is wonderfully capable, versatile, flexible, and adaptable. But just because you can figure out a way to adapt to it doesn't mean you should. Maybe, 10 of Wands, maybe it is adding too much to your plate that you're kind of as much as you feel this sort of impulse to do it, or maybe you even feel pressure to do it. There's part of you that says, we've already got a lot to do. There's already a lot on my plate. I don't know if I want to add more things. We have a 2 of Pentacles, so things might change. Either way, this is you deciding, taking an action, and doing very slowly and deliberately moving forward. Whether that's going with this impulse or kind of changing your mind and saying, you know what, I don't want to do it. The choice is yours. Here we have the Universe card. We have a Knight of Wands. You got an Empress. And you have your Sagittarius superpower card, the Art or Temperance card. Now that is either temperance, moderation, right? Regulating, dialing something back, tempering ourselves, or it's the pressure cooker. Okay? It's either temperance or temperance, right? We're either tempering ourselves, in terms of regulating our energy and sort of, modulating it, or it's the temperance of strengthening steel, being tempered in a fire. Yeah. So it could be a pressure cooker, it could be a blacksmith's sort of anvil, or it could be that we're choosing to slow down. right? That we've already been rushing ahead too fast. And so, by the looks of it, there's an impulse to rush, but I think there's an instinct to slow down. It might be that week for you, Sagittarius, where despite your momentum, despite your the availability of things to do, you might choose to do a little bit less right now. Yeah, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it right over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to release that Kraken until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down beneath the video. Now, as we look around the room, major, fire. Ooh, where's the water? We've got air, we've got an earth card. Okay, so a lot of fire and, not a lot of water. And of course, the temperance card is kind of the blending together of fire and water. And it may be really the message, feels this week that there's been too much fire. Where's the water? Can we bring this Empress energy, which is right now in the position of the fear, worry, concern, or the obstacle, or that which is giving us anxiety? Okay, can we bring this energy into our lives more? Because I feel like this is all the water is in this card. To me, the Empress is a combination of the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, blended together. Wants me to ring the bell again for the art card. And so that water is kind of locked up right now. And I think it's because there's too much fire here. In other words, your life is so busy right now, and I feel that there's a lot of pressure on you to do more and to do it faster. And you're kind of feeling like, I just got to keep up with life. Life is accelerating, and I've got to accelerate in order to just keep the pace, But I think that there's an instinct in you that's saying, wait a minute, the magician, maybe I can wave my magic wand and I can slow down a little bit. I don't have to take on every new thing. I don't have to overschedule myself. Maybe the magician is even kind of saying, I need to schedule in some downtime, Let's talk about the Eight of Swords again. This is our first card. Maybe too many options. Maybe that you feel right now there's a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. That there is, and that's the overwhelm of our 10 of Wands that we see too. So that checks out. That it's kind of, this mental space we're in is like, I feel so much pressure because there's so many things to get done, maybe between now and the end of the year, right? I feel like this week is going to be a week where we have to sort of we have to try to just sort things out a little bit. Because I feel that there's this overwhelm energy. Too many things to get done, not enough time to do it, not enough space to do it, not enough money to do it, whatever it is. There are too many demands, but not enough resources to meet those demands, whether it's time, effort, energy, money, or space. Okay? Could be you're having 50 people over to your house. I don't have the space for that, nor do I have the money or the effort or the energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like there's that overwhelm, and so there might be, there might be just too many things going on. Yeah. And sometimes the eight is, too many options, or even too many opinions, too many voices. Yeah. Too many people, or too many, I don't know, even internally, too many differing opinions that you have. Maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. And it's just, we feel tied up in a tangle of Christmas lights, Makes me want to watch Christmas Vacation again. Now's the season to watch that movie. Every year I watch, around this time of year, I watch that movie at least once, twice, 3 times probably. So this might be really like take a break. Take a break from noise. Take a break from screens. Take a break from thinking about this. Are you staring at the spreadsheet all day, all night? Take a break. Go do something else. Go walk outside. Up here in the northern hemisphere, it's getting really chilly. Wherever you are in the world, just take a break from staring at that spreadsheet, from looking through the contract, or from going a line item, the fine-tooth comb. It's just, we're frazzled, right? Take a break. Slow down your breathing. Yeah, anxiety will shrink when you breathe slow. And really do everything slow right now. Yeah, it's kind of that slow motion. The world around you is going super duper fast. Can we slow it down? Can we slow down our movements and our breathing? Slow down your speech. And it may seem weird at first to talk very, very slowly. I can't do that here because then this video will be 3 hours long. But try it in your life, okay? Just slowing things down. I feel better already just being a little bit slower. Doesn't have to be so exaggerated, right? Your overthinking right now has got you stuck in a loop. Because it's like we keep looking at that spreadsheet. And as many times as we crunch the numbers, it spits out the same answer. And it's just, I don't know what to do. I could put this number over here. I could do this instead. What if I paid that bill? What if I bought that thing? What if I sat this person over there? Maybe you're planning a holiday party. I don't know. Maybe you're planning a wedding. Maybe you're planning a cruise, Maybe you're just trying to figure out how in the world you're going to do everything by the time it's due. Okay? Maybe what we need right now is to step away. Maybe we need to come back to it and just not overthink it. Just pick one thing and do it. We need to be able to take a step forward. Kind of take a step back to breathe. And that's exactly what you're doing here. That's why the Four of Swords is in the back. So before you go forward, take a step backwards into a Four of Swords where you can breathe. Peace of mind. This is very cool. We don't see this very often. The cards are telling us to go backwards. Well, the Magician is outside of time and space, can manipulate time and space. So it's okay to go backwards a little bit. Undo what you've done a little bit. You know how on the spreadsheet there's that little arrow for undo? It's Control Z most of the time. Undo, 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 undo. Just reverse everything to a simpler state. And breathe. And then we'll take one intentional step forward with clarity. Okay? So take a step back, breathe, decide the next step, and go forward. Don't sabotage yourself. Okay? You've got to honor your needs right now before you honor the deadline, right? Empress energy. Got to take care of you, because then you'll be able to take care of whatever this is going on in your life this week, and you'll be able to get it done when it needs to be done. Self-sabotage ends when you prioritize your needs and honor your needs right now, and then you honor the deadline. You're not trapped. You're not stuck. You're wrapped up in these Christmas lights, but there is a way out. Declutter your mind by breathing, by protecting your peace, by all the Four of Swords stuff. Writing things down, just kind of talking to somebody, bouncing it off of, just ignoring the problem for 5 minutes maybe. Going out and doing something else. Going outside and taking a really deep breath of the fresh, crisp air. Yeah. So peace is going to return to your life as you simplify things right now. And that's going to allow you to see the appropriate way forward because of the Eight of Wands here. Everything seems like it's going at super duper speed. Everything feels rushed. The world is rushing right now, especially during the holiday season. Everybody is frantically trying to prepare, frantically trying to get everything ready. Businesses are frantically trying to get ready for the end of the year. Some manufacturing places are trying to rush and get all their stuff built before they close down for, to go over to the new year. I don't know, the fiscal year, whatever that is. It seems like the right thing to say. It's busy. Life has sped up. News is coming in so fast. Messages are coming in. Plans are just all over the place. There's all these opportunities, all these things to do. And you've probably said yes to most of them. We've committed ourselves to a million things, and then we think, I can't do a million things. I'm just one. I'm just one dude, So expect movement. You can say yes to all these opportunities. But you also have the ability to take care of yourself and say, I'm not going to be forced into running around frantic frenzy chaos. Don't have to operate that way. When you slow down and you start breathing slower and moving slower and talking slower, you will, I promise you, you will be amazed at how fast the world seems to be moving. When you slow down, you really start to notice the chaos. And then you start to see wow, I was moving at that super speed. Because, relativity, right? When you're driving 100 miles an hour, every car around you driving about 100 miles an hour. Some feel like they're going a little bit faster, a little bit slower, but we're all basically just kind of calmly cruising, right? But when you slow down and you're going 20 miles an hour, or you actually pull over to the side and you stop the car, you see how fast everybody's going. And it's wow, I was going that fast just a minute ago. Okay. Now, don't do it on the freeway or whatever, but next time you pull over and you're watching traffic go by, think about this reading. Think about me. Okay. And I think it's like that mentally. It's like that, physically in our movements and just in our lives, in our plans. How quickly people are doing everything. And maybe I'm just getting old. I'm in my 40s-ish somewhere. And I guess the older I get, the slower I get. And I see everybody around me just running around just frantic chaos. And I'm thinking, gosh, maybe I'm just getting slow, or maybe I'm just kind of pulling back to a normal speed. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. You should see me when I'm in the car driving. Maybe it's because I got a kid, a family. I don't drive so fast, I used to drive real fast. Now, I drive the speed limit, maybe even a mile or two under. And I think that pisses some people off. But I'm safe, and I think it's easier on the car, it's easier on the gas, it's easier on the road, and it's easier on me mentally. Just to go a little bit slow. Yeah. Stay organized. Don't let things are starting to feel too chaotic, back up. Back up to the Four of Swords as many times as you need to. Okay? There may be a lot of traveling, scheduling type of things going on for you. You want to act, yes. You want to move forward to the Two of Pentacles, yes. But if you rush, friends, crazy, you're going to make mistakes. So fall back to your Four of Swords as often as you need to. These are tools in your toolbox. Tools against, anxiety, right? You've got to maybe act fast. There is probably a lot to do. You got to be able to fall back and regain your composure. Now the Ten of Wands underneath. This is a lot of responsibility. Okay, this is feeling like you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders. This is that feeling of overwhelm, that there are so many demands on me. I don't know how I could possibly do all this. I guess I just have to sacrifice my health, my physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. I guess I'll sleep next Christmas, What other choice do I have, right? Sometimes we feel that way. It's very self-sacrificing. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be. I think what we can do is we can take a step back and we can say, I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to go sit in the snow and meditate or breathe. You know, I don't recommend this, but I used to love going outside when it was snowing and either doing a walking meditation in the cold air, or really just sitting down near the snow or in the snow and meditating and doing the alternate nostril breathing, the pranayama. My favorite thing. It's dangerous, don't do it. But it's invigorating, you know. Anyway, take a break. 5 minutes isn't really going to make much of a difference. If it helps you, if it makes a big difference for you on your internal state, it's worth whatever delay you caused in your life, you know. If the people around you can't wait 5 minutes for you to just kind of go and breathe and relax, then they're moving too fast. Now, I'm not saying that you need to inconvenience everybody because you want to go take a break or whatever, you know, but you need to protect your mental health. You need to prioritize your needs right now. Don't push yourself to exhaustion. Pace your effort. Ask for help. You don't have to do everything alone. Maybe there's this situation, maybe you're really starting to understand that, hey, why is this all on you? You're busting your butt 24/7, 365, 25 hours a day, basically, right? But some other people around you just seem like they have a lot of free time. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but is there an imbalance in the dynamic? Is there an imbalance in responsibilities? You know, and how can you then have more time to rest or so-called free time? Yeah. Ask for help. Let go of tasks that aren't yours to carry this week. Prioritize. Yeah. Well, that's what we sort of see here with the Eight of Wands, right? Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury in Sagittarius. Nobody's going to solve this for you. Your magic, and you are the magic maker, Sagittarius. I want you to claim this right now in the comments. Say, I am a magic maker. Because that means that you get to decide how this is going to go. You get to create your reality. Right now, somebody or something created this crazy, hectic reality for you. And you find yourself in it, and it was probably you, but like the old version of you or the unconscious you, created this chaotic life. Okay? And that magician is saying, well, I can either adapt to this chaotic life, and I'll sleep when I'm dead, or I can change something. Or just because you are adaptable doesn't mean you should be. Because adapting to the Ten of Wands is you basically saying, well, I'm eventually going to run out of gas. Eventually the tires are going to fall off the car, but oh, well, I guess. What choice do I have? Well, you could slow down. Well, you could pull over and fill up the gas tank. You could stop at a motel and rest overnight or something, yeah. Let go of tasks that aren't yours. Don't push yourself to exhaustion. Stay organized and prioritize. Finish the things that matter most, and then rest. If anything can be postponed until next week, do that. Release the stuff that's way too heavy for you. Okay? Putting down some of that weight is going to really help. Especially if it's things that you don't need to be, responsibilities or worries or burdens or obligations. Maybe you can clear your calendar a little bit. Maybe you can simplify your life right now. And say, life is busy, crazy, I'm gonna do less. I'm only gonna do what really needs to be done. The rest of it, I'll worry about next week or next year. Next year is not too far away, So anyway, I think that's very good. That's a very good, very good realization to make. We don't want to be so overburdened, but then at the same time not allow ourselves to admit that. To say, hey, that Ten of I feel like I'm running out of gas. You know, we keep pushing ourselves, and then we don't, you know, but before we know it, we're just like, we're burned out. The wheels have fallen off, and we collapse. We reach a breaking point, you know. So the energy here is saying, fall back to your Four of Swords. Protect your mental stability. Protect your peace. Rest your body, rest your mind. Take a short break before continuing with all of this craziness, whatever it is. I don't know what you're doing at home, at work, at school. Step back from all this crazy drama. Step back from the spreadsheet, put the phone down, close the laptop, put away all the paperwork. Go do something else. Okay? Sleep, pray, quiet time, read a book. That's the name of the game right now. And maybe it is, you know, stepping back to sort of simplify, calm our mind down so that when we come back to the problem, we'll know exactly what we want to do, and we'll take that one step forward and we'll accomplish something, and it's going to feel good. Okay? Set boundaries. Your peace is the policy right now. Yeah. Meditate for a few minutes, quiet your mind. You'll make better choices, more clear choices. See, there's not a lack of information, there's not a lack of ability, there's not a lack of strength or knowledge or wisdom or any of that stuff. It's just a lack of clarity. You're perfectly capable of doing everything you need to do, but it's just we just get so twisted around in our mind with everything going on, it just feels like it's just frustrated. Okay? And maybe you are perfectly capable of doing all of this. How can we do it easier? Okay? And I think kind of like this card is saying, let's make sure that we protect our energy before we end up like getting too tired, or even like, you know how stress can even like lower your immune system, you end up getting sick. That'd be the worst thing to have happen right now, right? I always get sick at the worst possible times. When I have so much to do, I'll get sick, and it's like, oh, great. Okay. Be patient, plan your next steps. Don't rush anything. Be kind to yourself. Try to simplify. Simple steps, clear checkpoints, flexible timelines. Okay? Your healing, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, comes through stillness, taking a step back to just breathe, just rest. Okay? But there's, like I said, there's not a lack of ability, there's not a lack of strength, there's not a lack of knowledge or skill or wisdom or any of this. There's no lack of resources. I feel like it's just a matter of not seeing clearly right now how to best employ those resources. Maybe we're talking about a financial thing, or maybe you are looking at spreadsheets. Maybe we're looking at bills. Maybe we're looking at like, how the heck am I going to pay for the holidays, you know? Whatever it is. Sometimes the magician is that sort of commerce energy. So this could be about how you're sort of managing your money right now, how we're either dealing with the business stuff or your personal finances, or bills or debts, or you know, like how we're going to pay for the holidays, yeah? You have all the tools you need to make progress. All we need is clarity. Okay? And the magician is the one that has those ideas, that can see the way out, but we just need to step back from the problem a little bit. Yeah. I think what you need to do is focus on really the one goal, make it the priority, instead of trying to do too many things or worrying about too many things at once. It's kind of like, what's the biggest, most urgent kind of problem in your life? Look at that one first. Make a plan, have an action plan, and kick it off, get it rolling. Okay, that one is already in motion. What's the next most urgent, concerning kind of thing? And tackle that one. Your focus right now is really going to create, you know, outcomes, positive outcomes. But you want to have one task. You want to close all the other tabs. You know, when you're looking at the spreadsheet, come back to it. Just look at that and and write it down, formulate what you're going to, what you're going to do step by step. And if it is a budgeting thing, once you get the budget, you get it locked in, you say, okay, well, that's it. I'll look at it again next month. Okay. When you slow down in your life, I feel like you're going to feel that everything happens sort of more smoothly. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I feel like we worry that if we slow down, the world around us is going too fast, and that's going to be inconvenient for us, to say the least. But it's not driving in traffic, right? If you're driving on the freeway, you pretty much want to go with the flow of traffic. But in this kind of a scenario in life, I feel like if you slow down, you're going to see things more clearly. You're going to see, it's going to be more graceful. It's like when you slow down in the car and you're driving, the lights are going to be, they're going to be turning green for you. I don't know why it works. Do you ever notice that? When you're rushing through town, you're getting all the red lights. Oh, man. But when you just slow back a little bit and you ease down and you're just cruising and it's calm and it's peaceful and there's the sense of stillness, the lights are turning green for you. Or they're even staying green even while you mosey on through. You ever have that happen to you? Let me know in the comments if you've had that happen. And it has to do with our energy. I know it does. Because when I'm frantic and I'm stressed out and I'm driving, I'll get red lights everywhere. But when I'm just kind of kicking back, I'm paying attention, and I'm driving, responsibly but peacefully, green lights, smooth lane changes, people just seem to get out of your way. I mean, it's awesome. Usually, it's not always like that, but more often than just coincidence would dictate, I think. Okay, so that alignment is gonna happen for you when you're aligned with yourself. Okay, there's a confidence in you. This is really you putting your talents to good use. And I think for a lot of you, it might have to do with finances. This is, Mercury is the Lord of Commerce, right? And so it may be a business thing. It may be about either your business finances or your personal finances. Now we have a Two of Pentacles as well, which is, well, sometimes it's about finances. The Pentacles here could be an exchange of goods and services, okay? It could be some kind of a transaction, okay? It could be the next step that you have to take in the physical realm. It's a card of change. It's a card of change or exchange, okay? Something is changing hands, maybe, yeah? And it could be a business deal. It could be some sort of a, property. It could be, I don't know, it could be gifts. It could have to do with the holidays. But this is the next step that you're taking. This is you being very proactive. This is you knowing exactly what deliberate step to take. Because you've taken a step back from this problem, you've come back to it with clarity, and now you're doing it. Life feels busy. You're able to juggle everything gracefully, okay? You're not frantic trying to spin all these plates and keep everything going. It's happening smoothly, okay? And so it's not so much that you're not capable of handling all of the responsibilities or the speed at which life is kind of happening around you, but you're able to be in more control of that. See, the magician is the juggler too, able to juggle a lot of things effortlessly. And you may be juggling work and health and stuff at home and, travel and all these kinds of things. You're staying adaptable. You're finding your rhythm, okay? So step back from your life right now to see how things can sort of can get a little easier. Catch your breath. Come back to it with more of alignment with your true self. And you'll find that the balance and the rhythm is there. Stay adaptable, but you're also causing change. Okay? So you have to remember that you're the juggler. And you get to determine, for one, how many things you're juggling. I like to just juggle two things at once. That's really easy for me. 3, I don't know if I could do 3. But 2 is good, okay? Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Let me know which card on the path of the dove is sort of resonating with you the most. I know we spent a lot of time on these cards today. But what we see on the path of the serpent is just, it's pretty straightforward, and I feel like these cards are going to go a lot quicker. The universe card, the bigger picture, the completion of this entire thing, whatever it is, the whole, like, life is so busy right now, it's not going to be that way forever. Maybe this is just for this week. Maybe this is for the holiday season. It's going to be done. It's going to end. All of this effort is going to reach its reward. You're going to be celebrating. It's a completion. Okay? You're tying up all these loose ends. You're getting everything done that you need to get done. And by the end of this period of time, whether it's the week of the reading or we're talking about the year, by the end of this, your timeline is going to look very different. You're doing all of this busy work because you're creating something really, really nice, luxurious, successful, and very rewarding for you. In other words, all this crazy busyness is worth the effort. Okay? It's worth the effort. You will experience the success, and it will be a new, different chapter. This is like that big crescendo of the movie, and then afterwards, it's just calm. It's just like there's all this big action scene, and then you just see people on a boat, just relaxing, sailing on a nice summer day, So you'll be stretched at your ease. But right now it's a lot of busyness. There may be travel again. I'm kind of getting that travel vibe for a lot of you. The fulfillment, the accomplishment of all of these tasks is going to bring a sense of fulfillment. It's going to feel very good to have got all this stuff done. Okay? And you got it done your way. You got it done without getting sick, without breaking down, without getting overwhelmed and frustrated too much, without smashing the system, You got your Knight of Wands here too, but I feel like there is a lot of people around you that are speeding around like crazy, bringing all these fast changes and excitement and maybe travel and news and just all these things, a lot of just people rushing around. You've got to use your energy wisely. You don't need to rush. You need to act swiftly. You need to be deliberate. You need to be in control. You need to focus on self-care. You need to act with direction, but you do not need to rush. Okay? You are acting boldly and courageously and confidently. And sometimes confidence is demonstrated by our ability to not rush. And I feel like that's really, it's kind of just like, everything is just crazy hectic around you, and you're just like, I'm gonna finish my tea, and now we can get started, And it's, actually I'm just drinking water. And it's like we're not being pressured into being all crazy. We don't have to be crazy, right? Who wants that person in control of the ship, You want to be poised. You want to be confident and in control, which means if you're going to drive the ship, we don't want you to be frantic and crazy and like pulling your hair out and rending your clothes and I don't know what to do. That's not a captain that inspires confidence. Okay? So passions, emotions, energies may be running very, very high. You got to stay poised. Stay flexible if things shift, things change, and you can sort of roll with those. You can juggle things. You're in alignment with yourself. Okay? Make sure you give yourself time. Fall back on your Four of Swords whenever you need to. Rest before burnout sort of sneaks up from under the surface and gets you. Okay? You're going to be acting very quickly, yes, but you're going to make sure that you rest and you take care of yourself. The Empress is here because, one, this is the good life that you're creating through all of this activity, but it's also your self-care. It's also saying that you can't keep giving out 110% of your energy to everybody with nothing coming back in. Eventually, there will be nothing left. You're squeezing the orange. Eventually, there's going to be no juice. Care for yourself. Care for the people that you love. Focus on the comfort and the healing energy of your home. Okay? So it's, make sure you spend time at your own personal power spot. We should all have a power spot in our homes. Whether you live in a house or an apartment or whatever. A flat, a loft, a basement. Find the power spot. And it may be one that you intentionally create. Where you just, put up a little divider or something, right? And you just put a little cushion and maybe a little altar or just some flowers or, whatever. A picture, a photograph, a painting. Something that makes you feel sort of peaceful. Makes it feel cozy maybe, a couple of blankets and pillows. A place where you can just go and just have a sigh of relief. And let the tension go. Rest when you need it. The comfort of your life right now is going to feed into your strength. And expect kindness from other people. Ask for kindness. Ask for affection from people when you need it. Say, hey, I need a hug. Things are crazy. I need a hug right now. Okay? I feel like there is a financial aspect. I feel like money, there's a harvest for sure. There is a reward to reap for all of this work. This week is going to be the creation of abundance, self-care, recognition of the beauty that you're creating in your life. You're building up your big rock candy mountain. Okay? And this is in the position of your fear, worry, and concern, because there's sort of an anxiety about this. Well, am I going to be able to do it? Is what I'm doing actually going to create that good life? Am I going to succeed at this? Will I be able to accomplish all of this by the deadline? Yeah, you will. Let's fall back. Let's regroup. And then, let's go after it. Well, we need the balance. We need that self-care. Now, the Temperance card, balance. Patience makes everything smoother. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Okay? Avoid extremes. Not too much rushing and not too much relaxing either. Nice balanced sort of flow. Where you've been pushing yourself too hard, going too fast, stepping on the gas too much. The Temperance card is you letting off the gas pedal a little bit. And it would work the other way too. If you find that you're going too slow and you're not getting enough stuff done, well, then the energy of the Temperance card would be you might have to step on the gas a little bit. I don't feel that you do. I feel like you've been on the gas too much already. So pull it off. Pull back a little bit. Okay? Allow the healing to happen here, because that's going to keep you strong so that you can continue to do all of this stuff and get the reward that you're looking for at the end. Get out in nature, for sure, if you can, right? Try doing some cooking or literally like some kind of art or creativity. Something relaxing, though, Cook yourself a nice, delicious meal and eat it. Share it with your people, Paint something, draw something, color in a coloring book. If it's relaxing to you, not if it's going to stress you out, though. Please, okay? It's sometimes I color with my daughter sometimes, and sometimes it's the most relaxing thing. To just color, just get some crayons and a coloring book and just do it. Yeah, it's so much fun. Harmony and peace are going to restore that energy. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe a 6. I feel like a 6 would be good. I feel like maybe it's going to be some pentacles. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. 3 of Wands. Okay. 3 of Wands is good. Because in a way, this is you kind of taking a moment to go get a different perspective. Go stand up on the cliff. Get up on the plateau and just look at what you're doing. Two things. One, look at what you've done already. Look at how much you're accomplishing. Holy smokes, like that's a lot, right? And also take a step back to sort of regroup, to calm down. This is you stepping back into your Four of Swords, right? To get that more bird's eye, sort of higher view perspective. You're up on the plateau looking down. You're going to be able to see everything a lot more clearly. It's not going to look so complex from way up here. When you're down in the middle of it, you can't see your way out of this tangle of wires. But from this vantage point, you can see a little bit more of like, okay, you know what? This is only another week or two, and then it's going to be done. I can do it. I just got to try to stay balanced, and, you know. Your hard work is going to show real results. Stand tall, be proud of your progress. Your efforts are going to return rewards. Yeah. Keep doing the right thing. Maintain your integrity. And integrity, to me, feels like structural integrity. Don't let the wheels fall off. If the car, you start driving too fast, the wheels are going to rattle, the doors are going to shake, things are going to start breaking, all right? Springs, like cartoon springs and nuts and bolts are just going to be flying out of the car, you know? So that's the structural integrity. Slow down a little bit. You're putting too much stress on the vehicle. And right now, your vehicle, your body, your heart, your mind, your soul, needs to be maintained, honored, loved, cherished, and healed, and helped, and taken care of, okay? I'm surprised we didn't get a chariot card here somewhere. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do oracle cards. We'll clarify love and money. We'll do the yes-no coin. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. We're all in this together.